Hi everyone. Today I am talking to Dee Newman about JourneyDance. So to begin with, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Dede. I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm a JourneyDance teacher in Southern California and a yoga teacher as well.
Excellent. So JourneyDance sounds like a beautiful way to release, and it really is transformative. Can you share a moment where you witnessed somebody move through a deep wound on the dance floor and emerge into their light body?
That's a great question. One of my students had just broken up with her boyfriend, and she was going through issues at work. And when she came to the class, she was sort of like hunched over, depressed, a little agitated. And as we moved through the dance, a lot of it is about shedding the old. There's a lot of shaking. Also during the fire ritual, you're literally shaking off stress, shaking off layers of stress that you might not have even known had accumulated over a certain period of time. And as we move through the different segments and then into like celebration and prayer and heart, which are toward the end, I could just see like she was glowing, she was standing more upright. I felt like she was embodying her entire body, her entire energy field, not just, she had come in sort of shrunken in her smaller self, and I felt like she had emerged and blossomed into her higher self and was taking up the space that she deserved.
Excellent. I mean, I love dance. I've been doing five rhythms and ecstatic dance for years now, and people underestimate the power of it. And you speak of journey dance as like a community of sacred belonging. And what does it feel like to you, and how do you cultivate that sense of unity in the sessions?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, first I have to give credit to Tony Bergens, who was the founder of it. She founded it about 30 years ago or more. And she has created a community of dancers and teachers around the country, even around the world. One of the facilitators, when I was going through my teacher training, it was in Mexico. She does a lot of shamanic work. I think she's been to Peru. So she has created this community of sacred belonging that she, has passed on to all of us. And so every time you take her class online, you feel that community. So as new teachers, we're trying to cultivate that on our own, and it's really just about giving everyone a safe space, letting everyone know it's okay to cry. If you need to cry, just take a moment. You can rejoin at any time. It's okay to be vulnerable. We do sharing at the end, and because after the dance, it's easier for them to fully be aware of what has just transformed and been transmuted within them. So I think creating a safe space, letting them be vulnerable, and giving them a space to share all contribute to that.
Yeah, I think it's obviously as a therapist, it's really important for people to have that safe space and to feel that there's people there for them. And embodied practice for transformation, it's a really powerful concept. So, what does embodied mean to you in the context of healing? And how does, all the dancing and the movement help people connect with their real innate self and their inner wisdom?
Those are great questions, but they're definitely two separate questions. So I'm going to answer them separately. Embodied means, in the context of healing, means that you're going below the mind to almost to the subconscious. And when you dance, you're not talking, you're not thinking. The whole point is to get out of your head, into your heart, into your body. And the more you get into the journey dance flow, you're completely freed of your mind and you're operating on a visceral, emotional body level. And that's when you can access the trauma, and that's when you can release it. So embody means to fully use the your entire body and the energy fields around you. We talk about the energy fields around us as well, because we're not just our body, and we're light beings, and our light radiates out from us into, as you well know. And then in terms of dance helping people connect with their inner wisdom, there are several rituals that can be done after either before or after the fire ceremony. The fire ceremony is part of almost every journey dance, and it's a shamanic, tribal, very intense part of the dance with very intense music, a lot of shaking, shaking as if you're shaking off, whatever you need to release. And sometimes before that ritual, we'll do a ritual called Connect with Your Inner Goddess, Your Inner Wise Woman. And we just take participants through like a guided meditation while they're standing, and there's some dancing involved. But again, it's on a subconscious level about going inside and envisioning your inner wise one. What do they look like? What are they wearing? What gifts do they have for you? And then letting them know what you need, receiving their gifts, and then dancing with them. And it's just such a beautiful thing because we all have our inner wise ones, whether we're male or female. But sometimes our minds are too busy to either hear them or be aware that they're even there. So again, Journey Dance takes you out of the mental mind and more into the subconscious.
Yeah, and I think as well, even into when you get even deeper levels, dance can take you into the superconscious, beyond the subconscious, and it's really is a brilliant form of meditation. For people who say they can't meditate, they can't sit still and meditate. If you meditate in the form of dance, it can be quite often deeper than a still meditation.
Absolutely. And we call it dance as therapy, dance, movement as meditation. Absolutely. You're 100% correct.
Yeah, and so a big part of it is the compassion, and compassion in action is really needed right now, especially the way the world is at the moment. So, how do you guide participants to extend compassion to their own bodies, minds, spirits during that experience of the journey dance?
That's a great question. So there are some segments where it's just sort of an innate, but toward the end, when we sort of slow down, there's a segment called heart and a segment called prayer. And in the heart segment, we're really honoring our own heart because in order to extend compassion toward others, you have to feel it toward yourself first. And if you're still hurting or wounded, you're not going to be able to express and extend as much compassion. So it's where we choose like beautiful, just heart-centered music that's very lyrical, evocative, and after you've transformed and transmuted and alchemized pain, into just into light and freedom, it's easier to go into your heart space. So there's a whole song and a whole segment called Heart where we nurture our hearts and then we extend love from our hearts to our hands out to everyone in the room, out to everyone in the community, out to everyone in the world. So that's the heart segment. And then the prayer segment is similar, but you go a little deeper. And again, very beautiful, prayer, spiritual like music. And you just connect with whatever higher being that you connect with. And it's different for everyone. And in doing that, you're also, connecting with yourself first, but then sending prayers out to the people in the room, the community, the rest of the world. So the idea is to spread love and compassion also through dance. I mean, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and the heart energy, there's so much more scientific evidence as well showing it, particularly with the Heart Math Institute. They've shown that, it can stretch out meters for some people, the energy of the heart center. And the heart is another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So beyond the movement, what would you find as the most subtle or the unexpected way that journey dance helps alchemize their stories and people to really step into their light and their true self?
I think it's just the flow because again, we start out slow on the ground, stretching, and then we slowly build it up. And there's another part where we're just sort of connecting with our body parts, like, oh, dance with your wrists. Like no one ever says dance with your wrists. So we dance with our wrists, dance with your fingers. So you dance with your fingers, dance with your elbows. So you dance with your elbows. So just really connecting with the body on such a visceral level, getting grounded. That foundation, I think, enables people to um, feel the courage to first of all, be aware of what they need to release, articulate it to themselves, because sometimes we say, when we're doing a certain ritual, like shedding your skin is a certain ritual. So we take them as if they're in a cave and they're a snake and they're going to shed their skin. And we actually have them like pretend they're rubbing against a wall. But it's not just shedding a physical skin. Before that, we ask them like, what do you want to shed mentally? Is it fear, insecurity? Is it something you got triggered about? Is it jealousy? Is it frustration? What emotion or what situation have you recently encountered that you just want to let go? And so in shedding their physical skin, they're shedding that as well. So and then we go into the fire so they can completely release it. And then there's a celebration dance. And we do have a sensual segment as well that I like to do because a lot of women haven't owned their sexuality for various reasons. And we just put on sensual music. And we have them just close their eyes and just feel into it in a private space. No one's watching. And I feel like that segment really helps them step into their power in a way they might have not before.
Yeah, I really like what you say about going with the flow. It's something I repeat a lot as well. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I've got this ring here. It's the alchemical symbol for water to remind me to go with the
I
flow.
love that.
And it's interesting what you're saying at this time as well, because you're talking about shedding the skin. And last year we let go of the year of the snake, and now we're in the year of the fire horse, and you're talking about the fire. And it's like, it's all just flowing at the right time, isn't it? And it's like,
It's very, very related. Yes.
yeah,
Very much in sync. Yes.
it's kind of different aspects. The shaman, you've got the different, like the chi energies from the Oriental countries, and it all overlaps. Doesn't matter where in the world you are. There's all the same issues coming up, and there's all the really
Yes.
change,
Yes.
change, and going with the flow.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And if someone's new to these embodied practices, or they might feel a little bit shy about dancing, what's one of the gentle invitations that you use to help them with the journey dance?
That's a great question. And for JourneyDance, there is zero dance experience required. You don't have to be a dancer or have taken any classes because it's really about going inside, not about performing. So we just, like in yoga, we just say pace yourself. If you feel like you need to slow down, you can slow down. If you feel like you need to take a little bit of a break, go lie down on your mat, you can do that. But you're so welcome here, and if you need a hug, you can raise your hand and, you can either get a hug from the teacher or a group hug, if you need that, that comfort if something comes up for you, because oftentimes things come up and people don't know they're going to come up. It's unexpected. So, just again, creating a safe space, letting them know it's okay to be vulnerable. A lot of people are not, they've repressed for so long that it hasn't been okay for them to be vulnerable. And this is the space precisely for that. So we'd let them know a lot of these things at the beginning of the class. And then as the class progresses, if they need to cry, there's tissue, we direct them to that. If they need a hug, we'll give them a hug. If they just need their own space, they go, you can go to your mat, that way we know that you just need your own space. So, and then they can resume at any time. It's not like once you leave the flow, you can't get back in. You just, you resume. And it's very free flowing. Like everyone's doing everything independently. The only time we come together is when we do the fire ritual. That's when we come together in a circle. But most of the time, everyone's just like in their own private space in the room. I mean, we dance around, but individually. So there's a lot of privacy in terms of the individual part of it. And when we come together in a group for the fire ritual, it's very powerful.
Excellent. I mean, it's really good for everyone. Is it for men and for women?
For men and for women. The majority are women, but there's some men that do it as well, and we love that. We welcome them too.
Yeah, I find in various different groups, some attract equal, half and half, and some are kind of more women, or, maybe there's some where there's more men, but I think
Yeah.
women like dancing more than men, but maybe that's just in the UK. I don't know.
I, no, I think you're mostly right. So when men come, it is unusual, but it's very, very lovely.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's the most profound insight or shift that you've experienced in your own life through this practice of journey dance?
Wow, that's a great question too. You ask great questions. I think for me, it's just knowing that I can release what needs to be released at any time because whether I just sort of shake it off, and that's part of Qigong too. Part of my Qigong practice is just where you stand in place and you shake and you do like you vocalize different sounds. And we do that during the fire ritual as well. So like you said, there's a lot of Qigong mixed into Journey Dance as well, and some yoga also. So just knowing that I can shake off stress at any time, either literally or figuratively. Sometimes I just go in my room and I'll just, do the shaking part of the fire ritual. I won't do the whole thing, but I'll just do that. And then maybe I'll use some incense and burn off, burn off any negative energy that I've encountered during the day. So it's just having the tools to know that we can alchemize, we can transmute pain into purpose, we can alchemize pain into joy. We can do it ourselves. We don't need a therapist or someone else to do that for us. So that's, I think, one of the biggest gifts I've received.
Yeah, and that's very empowering when you step into your own power and realize that you're your own best therapist. Whether
Absolutely. Empowerment. Thank you. That was the word that I was so elusive that I was kept like searching for. It's
it's
very
great.
empowering, Journey Dance.
It's good to see people kind of like stepping into who they really want to be, isn't it? And
Yes. And so much of that is releasing what you don't want, because again, the layers, just growing up, the stress of your family, the stress of school, the stress of work, maybe the stress of raising children, whatever it is you're dealing with, the stress of politics, whatever you're dealing with, it's just layered on top of layers. And so to like an onion, to sort of peel all that off first and then have room to step into your power. You have to create space for that and create the right environment for that.
exactly, you've got to get rid of the old to create space for the new.
Yes.
So it's really great to chat. Have you got any final thoughts for the viewers?
I'm just very grateful to be part of this community, and I'm one of the few Journey Dance facilitators in Southern California. And right now, I am teaching in person, so if anyone is interested, please contact me. Also, always looking for new locations to teach. So if anyone knows of a health and wellness center or somewhere else that might be open to it, I would love to hear that as well.
Great. So we'll pop all your details in the links below and people can reach
Thank
out to you.
you.
I trust this is going to keep on growing because so many people love dancing and, dance as therapy, dance as meditation. For people who don't want to do any talking therapy, for example, this is an excellent way forward, I find.
Yes, and I also no, absolutely. I just want to make one more point. I also see it as sort of the next level of yoga because I did get my teacher training in yoga first, and I thought, and that's great. I love yoga, and it achieves a lot of the same purposes, but it doesn't as much go to the subconscious and the superconscious and how the shamanic aspect of it. So doing the rituals, imagining your wise woman and communing with her and asking for advice like that is not part of yoga. And so this just takes, I feel like, to a whole other level. So I still do yoga but I love Journey Dance almost more because I feel like it's a little more comprehensive.
Yeah, and I think combining different things, like breath work, meditation, dance, and I do the quantum healing. When you combine it all together, there might be moments where you feel like being still and sitting and doing the trance, and then moments when your body needs to move. So I think having a whole range of different things to assist you in terms of self-care is really important.
The whole enchilada.
So when I'm in California, I will look you up for sure.
Oh, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of this interview. I really appreciate you. And thank you for all the work you do to help heal the planet.
Oh, thanks a lot. Good to chat to you. And I'll speak to you.
Likewise.
Thanks.